Hello everyone and welcome to Net Crypto, where you get important information and news about all coins and tokens of interest. And today we are taking a look at Pepe Unchained, right? So this is a scam that we've been covering for a couple of months, right? Coming from the same scam lords, we have also run multiple other scams. If you don't know, these scammers are also behind all these scams that I've covered on the channel, right? And plenty more. These are scam lords, right? They've been scamming for a very long time. So today we just want to discuss the price movement, and I believe that there is some rug pull preparation that they are doing, because we do see a lot of action happening with the liquidity, right? There are a lot of suspicious transactions occurring on the liquidity. Like, for example, right, you can see right here, they are adding and removing liquidity, right? So you can see here they are adding and removing liquidity. Let's just scroll a little bit down here, right, so that we can see what they are doing here to this liquidity pool. For example, see here, this is almost 8 million, right? 2000 ETH. They are add, and then immediately they remove the liquidity, right? And this is being done by AE13, right? So this is like a multi purpose utility, right? Sometimes it's a front running bot. It definitely belongs to the scammers, right? And they use it for multiple purposes across all their scams, right? So this adding and removing liquidity is extremely suspicious, right? So be careful here. These guys might be just preparing for a rug pull, right? So be extremely careful there. That's one thing that I wanted to highlight. And something else that I wanted to tackle is the fact that everyone is talking about, no, they're not a scam because they have built they're building layer 2, they've got a blockchain, they're doing this. Well, that's their modus operandi, right? Across all these scams that I've covered, in each and every one, they've promised some sort of utility, right? They always do that. They promise some sort of utility because these guys are con men, right? I've already said this before in one of the videos. They are con men, and the purpose for a con man is to try to get your confidence in selling you something that is worth nothing and make you believe that it's worth something, right? So for example, this layer 2 blockchain is just a smoke screen. It only costs between 30 and 70,000 to develop it, but they collected millions in the pre-sale, and they have developers working full-time developing all these applications, right? So we are going to take an example of one of their scams that I covered. This one, Green Bitcoin, right? So Green Bitcoin is one of their scams. This one that I covered a couple of months ago. I think by now it's almost 7-8 months ago, right? So if we go and check out, remember this token, Green Bitcoin. If you saw this token, you'd remember it. It's exactly the same scammers who are also behind Pepe Unchained. They also developed this pre-sale, right? And of course, staking always forms the pillar of that. I'm going to be tackling this staking, right? Especially with an X a tweet that they dropped right on X. So this Green Bitcoin, they promise some sort of platform, right? Green Bitcoin introduced a revolutionary decentralized gamified green staking mechanism. New challenges live every week, right? So they have some sort of predict to earn whatever platform, right? And they continue to work on it after they've long after they've already rug pulled. They continue to work on these applications. Why? Because they are con men. They understand exactly that people in crypto, if you promise them some sort of utility and you keep updating them and then you deliver that utility, they'll believe you, right? Even though the price is nothing. Like, take a look at this. It's a rug pull. But they continue to develop all these apps because they are con men. They understand. We promised you that we're going to give you this predict to earn platform, whatever, right? And you get it. Now, take a look at one of the comments here that I wanted to share with you from one of the people who believed into this scam, right? He says, I staked my tokens with you around April after being promised an APY approximating 100% depending on variations. The rewards soon stopped accumulating, which I thought was a front-end issue. I have now unstaked and got peanuts, nowhere near the amount promised. Can you help? No, they're not going to help, unfortunately, because they are scammers, right? And now I'm going to tackle this issue. If you go to Pepe's X, you see that they are talking about this. Look at this tweet here. They are saying, next week, stake Pepu on layer 2 for double rewards. Stake, right? Staking, I'm sorry, don't stake in any token that hasn't been around for at least a year, right? It makes no sense at all, right? Don't stake. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people are new in crypto, and that's how, if you are staked right now, probably that's how you ended up staking, because you think it's a good idea, right? I'm going to stake, I'm going to earn 1,300 whatever, right? APY. It sounds like a good deal. Let me go ahead and do it. But unfortunately, staking forms the pillar of the scam. That's why they are desperate for people to stake, because when you buy into the pre-sale, you give them your money. When you stake, you also give them the tokens. You've got nothing, right? And for those who have staked, I'm sure you can also attest to it, because even though you spent you gave them your hard-earned money, they've got that money, and they also, you've got the tokens, right? So on the 17th of December, in less than, I think, just over 24 hours, we're going to start to see a lot of people unstaking and to actually claim. But then the price is not doing so well. This is something that we already spoke about, right? The price is not doing so well. We are currently sitting at 0.0220. We did go to as low as 0.017, right? 0.017. That's as low. We did go this low today, right? So it's not looking too good, right? The scammers, they look like they are preparing for the rug, right? Because now, very soon, I believe we're going to be even seeing the pre-sale prices here and dropping much, much lower than the pre-sale prices, because that's how it works throughout all their scams, right? So this is something that you are going to be watching closely, and we're going to be adding everything they've done to Pepe Unchained into our knowledge base of how these scammers operate, right? So that we can even wise up into the future, right? With all the schemes that these guys are running, right? So you need to be extremely careful of that. So if you check as well, Green Bitcoin, like I said, this is one of their scams that they did, and look at that, 87% down, right? 87%. It doesn't matter what utility they promise, whether it's layer 2, they promise some sort of platform, they promise some sort of game. They did the same thing with Play Doge. They promise some sort of game, right? They'll produce everything that they've promised, but they give you what they've promised. It doesn't cost them a lot, right? In some instances, it's not even 50,000 that they spend, because they are scam developers who are developing these apps, right? They pay those guys a salary, I believe. I don't know how they operate, but definitely they have developers who are developing all these things. And this is well organized, well orchestrated. Like, just take a look at the scams that I've covered only. They have many more. Probably the list is 3 times this, right? Of scams that these guys have done. The list is 3 times this. Now imagine, there's no way that you will be able to outsmart people like this. But of course, for us here on the channel, we can outsmart them sometimes, right? Because we have seen their modus operandi, right? Not every time will you be able to outsmart them. One of the strategies, obviously, is, of course, never ever buy in the pre-sale. That's the golden rule. It doesn't matter what pre-sale it is. Don't buy it. Don't buy in the pre-sale. If you want to buy, you buy after the pre-sale, right? After the pre-sale. If you have logged everything that has happened with that token, you've compared it with some of the tokens in the past. Remember your Big Brain Crypto Ego logbook. Log at least 10 to 15 pre-sales. Only after then, that's when you're going to start to actually understand how this pre-sale works. For example, some pre-sale, they go like 3, 4, 5x, like what you saw with Pepe Unchained. It went like 4x, right? But some, immediately, soon after they launch, they tank, right? From the same scammers. So you can start to get the feel of where this scam is going, right? So especially if the scam is quite huge, you see it's massively popular, right? That's when you're going to be seeing a lot of a lot of volatility, especially for the token going maybe 1, 2, 3x, and you have that initial dip after pre-sale, which offers you the opportunity to buy, right? But it's extremely risky. You need to have logged multiple pre-sales for you to rapidly, to actually quite ascertain whether it's a good option to jump in after the pre-sale or to stay away, right? So we're going to continue to check this one, right, to see exactly how the situation develops, especially as unstaking starts. Unfortunately, right, a lot of people are still going to be blacklisted from claiming their tokens, even though they've reached the 7 days. So be extremely careful of that. And be careful, right? Once you have unstaked, right, and then you run into this issue of claim and stake, right? This claim and stake. Don't click this button, claim and stake. Don't click it, right? Because the moment you click claim and stake, it's 7 days, right? Don't do that. Just claim your tokens, and then that's it. And let me know how it goes for you, right? Were you able, after the 7 days, to claim your tokens, right? Did everything go well for you? Unfortunately, the price right now is not looking good already, right? It's not looking good already, but we're going to continue to monitor it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.